Hello and welcome to another simple baking video that I have. This one also requires very few ingredients and very little time to put together. As you can see here, all I've got is a little bit of fruit that I thawed out from the freezer, a lime, a couple of Asian pears, and a sheet of pie dough. Now if you don't have one of the hand juicers like that, roll the lime up on the counter, cut it in half, and just squeeze it with your hands. But otherwise, this is really all you need to make this. A galette, or if you want to just call it a tart, or however you want to do it, it is incredibly simple and will actually feed 4 people. All I did there was just squeeze the half of a lime into the base of the filling. Much like my turnover one, you will just have to cook this down a little bit, just not as far. Just go ahead and peel the Asian pears. Now, a nice thing about Asian pears is that they don't oxidize very quickly, meaning they don't go brown. And honestly, I don't actually know if they oxidize all that much at all ever, because I leave sliced versions of this in the fridge for a day and there's no issues whatsoever, as you'll see, because I actually add it to the end product of this video. Now, you can also use any fruit you want. You can use apples, you can use regular pears, you can use just berries. It makes no difference what you use. In this one, technically, there's peach, strawberry, and Asian pear. Then we just want to cube these into small cubes. They don't have to be perfect. Make sure if there's any core left in it to get that out, because that doesn't taste very good in a finished product. And the cubes by no means have to be the same size. Now what you will see though shortly is some thin slicing of one chunk of this, and that's for the presentation part at the end. If you don't care about presentation, like I kind of have to for the video, you don't have to do it. And this is the one where I do the very thin slices. And this I left in the fridge overnight because I actually didn't finish the video until the next day. Same thing with the other side. Noticed a little bit of grossness on the bottom of that one. And I was thinking about doing more slices, and then I realized I don't need any more because it only makes for 4 slices. But this is great if it's just a solo person at home. You can put this together and you have it for lunch, dessert for 2 days, and dessert for 2 days as well. It's also great for breakfast because I don't add a whole lot of extra sugar, so it's basically just fruit and a little bit of crust. They're also not entirely limited to fruit. You can make them savory. If anybody's interested, I'll do a video in the future just kind of showing a variation of it. that's all this is for the filling. You add a little tiny bit of sugar to it afterwards, and I added a hint of cinnamon, and we're talking maybe a quarter teaspoon, maybe a third of a teaspoon. Mix it up. And that's how little liquid's in the bottom. I don't actually think I added any extra water to this one. I think I just kind of went with the lime juice for this. Actually, that's a lie. I added a little bit of water during the cooking process. You'll see that off to the side there, I do have an egg wash. I did forget to mention that. You do need an egg. It just helps keep the bottom from being soggy. And another fun fact, don't always have every kitchen utensil you need. Nobody has everything. I could not for the life of me find my brush to brush the egg wash on. So I went real old school and just used my finger. Roll out your pre-made sheet, because there's no sense in always having to make everything from scratch. A pre-made sheet of pie crust tastes amazing anyway. So egg wash the bottom and the middle. That way it will keep the bottom from getting soggy, because when it cooks, it will actually hold all the juice in. Get a nice even coat. It doesn't have to be very thick, of course. Then it's as simple as adding your filling and folding the sides. And that's why this is so easy. The longest part is the cooking of the fruit, but there's a perk to this. You can do this the day before. If you know you're going to want this for dinner the next day, or for breakfast in the morning, or anything like that, which is actually what I did here, you can just refrigerate the filling. Word of advice though, if you are going to do it this way, when you take it out of the fridge, let it warm up for about a half hour on the counter. Otherwise, when you put it in the oven, it's going to take a lot longer to cook because it's frozen basically. And then inside of each pleat, use a little bit of egg wash and then just fold up. This part doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a matter of making sure you have enough pleats in there to keep all the filling in. Once you have all of that done, then you just egg wash the outside. And under normal circumstances, if your filling is not fridge cold, it only takes about 20 minutes, maybe a little bit less, depending, to get that nice golden brown. Now, if you want, with the egg wash on there, you can also sugar the rim of it to get that sugared effect. I didn't want that. I just wanted a very basic, simple tart. You can plate it however you want. If it's just myself, and I'm not, trying to make it look beautiful for someone else, I just eat it like this. It's fantastic. It's an amazingly simple dessert, though. Takes almost nothing to do. And as you can see, the end product is actually quite beautiful. I do spend a little bit of time on plating, obviously, for the video. You can make it look as good as you want it to, or you can just take this with a cup of coffee and sit down at your desk in the morning. And this is where the leftover Asian pear that I said I sliced comes in. I only did this for the video, of course. Normally, I really don't do this. Same with the sprig of mint that I put on. I just happen to have mint in the fridge. It just makes it look a little bit more beautiful. But otherwise, there you have it. A simple galette, made so simple with very few ingredients. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day.